Good morning, everybody. You are listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show Utah Home Sweet Home. And I'm your host, Yoshi Shiraki. We have our very special guest, Diane Thomas, who is visiting with me today. Hi, Diane.
Hi. Great to see you.
Great to see you, too. And I was just telling Bailey, you know what's so funny is that we just discovered we are neighbors.
I know.
Right? Last week. Amazing.
10 houses.
10 houses. And you know what else I love about that is you lived in New York for, was it 10 years, 8 years? Almost a decade, right?
Right.
I lived in New York for 18 years on 94th in Amsterdam, and you were on 93rd.
Third in Amsterdam.
Amazing. Amazing. What are the chances of that?
I know. And why didn't I meet you back there?
I know. Seriously. Seriously. Awesome. So, for those of you who don't know Diane, I'm going to share a little bit about her. So, Diane, during the past 25 years, has delivered more than 5,000 media appearances. She's the author of 19 books, including the New York Times bestseller, Roughing It Easy. Write that down, roughingiteasy.com. You're definitely going to want to go to that website, check it out. Which has sold more than 1 million copies. I love the book, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes. Diane was also a network reporter for 8 years on NBC's Today Show. Tom Brokaw, NBC's news anchor, said Diane made her network television debut on NBC's Today Show and quickly became one of the most popular featured performers. And I love that. I'm going to ask you one of the questions I'm so curious is how that happened, because you're from Monticello, Utah.
That's right. I lived in the woods.
Yes, and now you're on the Today Show as a regular. I mean, that's just unheard of. That's amazing.
Well,
so
thank you.
We'll ask a little bit about that. She's done television appearances that have led to contracts for the NBC's Today Show, where she was a regular, as we just discussed. That was followed by a 6-year contract with ABC's Home Show. So then you were on the Home Show.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Which was the same place The View is, so it was national. It was on ABC, and it was amazing. So.
Was that in New York too?
No, that was in Los Angeles. So
Okay.
I would go New York one time, LA. I mean, almost every week I was going back and forth.
Wow. With stops in Monticello.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
During this time, she also appeared on several times on the ABC Good Morning America and numerous other national and local television programs. She's still a sought-after presenter, speaker, and television personality, and I am lucky enough to have her here in the studios.
Well, you were one of my students.
Yes.
And actually, you were my star student.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So Diane Thomas is my mentor, one of my mentors as far as entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how to do television, how to do radio, how to do magazines. And
Yes.
here you are. You have your own show.
And I have my own show now.
That's great.
And for those that don't know, it's looking like I'm going to be on Good Things Utah in January.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So, I'm a testimonial for Diane Thomas. If you've ever thought about becoming a television or radio personality, go to her website. I don't know if she's still mentoring anybody, but you can ask her on her website. Maybe
Sure.
she'll do it.
Go to my website, send me an email, and I'll be happy to talk to you.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's dive into this. And for those of you who are listening, you guys are in for a special treat, because you're definitely going to also want to watch the video on YouTube that we put up, because Diane's brought in a ton of stuff that she shares in her book, Roughing It Easy. So, actually, can you just share really quickly how the idea came about as far as Roughing It Easy? Like, what made you write this book?
I actually went to Brigham Young University and graduated as a home economist.
Oh!
And was able to get a job at Orem Junior High School, which is just, it's off 8th North as you go down to Orem.
Yeah!
Anyway, as a home ec teacher, I had been the camp director of the Brighton Girls Camp, and some of the people in this area probably went to the Brighton Girls Camp.
Yeah!
I had no time to make lesson plans, so I went right from being the director of the camp.
Yes!
And we had 1,500 kids up there, and I was in charge of the faculty and everything, so I had to help close it down, and we closed on Saturday night. I started teaching Monday morning.
Wow.
I go, I don't have any lesson plans. We'll start out by cooking on tin cans.
Wow.
And so we made little buddy burners out of tuna fish can with rolled up cardboard and wax melted into it. And all the kids would bring their little tuna fish cans. And then we'd cut a number 10 can, which is about a gallon can.
Yeah.
Cut a door in it, poke holes in the back. And we'd be out there on the sidewalk cooking on these little tin cans.
No way!
And the principal loved it. So I said to another teacher, because I was brand new, I said,
Yeah.
I want to take these kids up in the mountains and cook.
Yeah.
And he left and he came back and he says, I got your kids out and I got my kids out. And so we did take the kids up for a day to Granite Flats. Some of you may know that.
No
In
way.
American Fork Canyon. And we dug holes, we buried chickens in the ground, we cooked in Dutch ovens, made pineapple upside down cakes.
Wow.
The kids loved it. And so I kept teaching them that. You know?
Yeah.
And my principal, we had a lot of students from broken homes, and he said, I want these kids out experiencing life.
Wow.
So I had a huge green light from him. So I spent a month teaching my 9th grade students and my 8th grade students how to cook out. Well, you'll enjoy this one. We needed to have a barbecue. Well, you don't have a budget for barbecues
Right.
in the school as a home ec teacher your first year.
Right.
So I waited till it got dark one night, and this is when we had metal garbage can lids.
Yeah.
You know, the old garbage cans.
Yes.
I backed my car up and took 6 of the garbage can lids from the garbage, put them in the trunk. The next morning I had bricks. You need 3 bricks to set them on.
Yeah.
And then put dirt from the flower beds into them.
Yes.
Put foil over that, put charcoal briquettes on that, and then each one of my units, we had 6, had a place to barbecue their hamburgers, and we'd cook meatloaf in an onion.
In an onion. Love
That's
it.
right, and we'll tell you about that in a
Yes.
few minutes. But anyway, so that night, we took off the foil, threw it away, put the dirt back in the flower bed, put the garbage can lids, I waited till it got dark, backed up, put them all on. The only thing that happened during that day is the garbage can lids had been sterilized. So anyway, I didn't ask for permission. I just figured just do it. And
Yes.
so that was the beginning. The kids loved it. My principal loved it. And so I started teaching it. And then when I went back to BYU to get my master's degree, I did it on how to teach home ec teachers can teach outdoor camping and cooking in their home ec classes.
Wow.
And we had teachers come up from all over the state, and I did 5 two-day workshops. We would actually have theory one day, and then we'd go up Mapleton Canyon
No way.
and cook out and for the whole day, and they would cook chickens on a spit. And
Wow.
I even had one girl, I told them, you have to bring a chicken to cook.
Yeah.
So she went up to BYU and asked them to get a chicken. Well, they gave her a chicken in a box, which was a live chicken.
Oh no.
She had been on a mission in South America and knew what to do with a live chicken.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wow.
that was one of the best learning experiences because she did take the head off, and pluck the chicken
Holy
there and
cow.
opened it up. And anyway, it was a great experience. So.
Wow, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. That is so cool. And then from there, how does the Today Show find you?
Well, I actually wrote the curriculum guides,
Okay.
and BYU said that they would publish them, but I'd have to buy all of them that didn't sell, which was half of the salary I was making that year.
Yeah.
And so I got on the lecture circuit. Some people in this area might know Education Week, so I just became an Education Week lecturer. And I thought, well, maybe if I had 100 students, in a class.
Yeah.
They had it on campus.
Okay.
The lady said, oh no, you'll overflow that. Well, they put me in the Dion Concert Hall, and we had over 500 people in my class at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Holy cow!
So I did all my fancy stuff. I kept doing it. I went home and worked all night, got another one. So then I was on the circuit, traveling all over the country doing Education Weeks, and then BYU asked me to write a book.
No way.
And sponsored it, kind of. I mean, they gave me a writer. And
Yeah.
so I would outline what I wanted, like
Yeah.
reflector oven cooking. Take it to the lady. She'd write it while I outlined the next thing. And every day we'd meet. And the book came out in 1974. And I remember it was March. It was actually the end of March when it came out. And I said, I wonder if this will change my life. And for years, it was pretty much my life because in 75, a year after this, I was invited to be on the Johnny Carson show.
Wow.
And the book, I was the first guest on, and that has millions and millions of people watching it.
Yes.
The book became a New York Times bestseller, and I was only beat out the whole summer by one book.
Oh no. Well,
it was called The Joy of Sex.
Oh!
So I said, you know what, I'm going to have to write a book called Sex in the Woods. So I'm still working on the research, and I'll be number 1. So. But for 13 weeks, it was number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Wow!
And we sold, altogether, we sold over 1 million copies. So.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Wow, what a story. That is so cool.
It was great.
Yes, yes. Very cool. Well, now you've brought in a bunch of stuff that I'm so excited to.
You ready to see?
Yes.
Well, probably, and again, I did talk shows after talk shows. When I was lecturing for BYU for Education Weeks, they sent me all over the country. So I'd go to San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, and they would let me rent a Pinto car.
I remember the Pintos.
Pay anymore.
Yeah.
And I would there was no GPS, there was no phone, no cell phones, there was nothing. This was in the dark ages.
Yes.
And I'd have to find my way to television, newspaper, and radio stations, but literally for the next 6 years I did local stuff, and then that's when I got on the Today Show.
Got it.
The fellow from BYU, well, once we did the Tonight Show, then it's like you have a PhD in entertainment.
Yeah.
And so the next year I was on the Today Show. Well, no, I wasn't. Barbara Walters was there until Tom Brokaw came on, and so when he came, I did the Today Show, and I got through everything but cooking your hamburger on the manifold of your car.
Oh.
So I said, Tom, I didn't get through everything, and he said, don't leave, I'll be back. When Tom Brokaw said, don't leave, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I go, oh, okay. So I just waited there, and when he came back, he said, we want you to come back in a couple of weeks and do 3 more segments.
Whoa.
I mean, that's like manna from heaven, literally.
No kidding.
So I did 3 more segments for them, and then the next year they called me to do 5.
Wow.
And my alarm in my brain goes off, and I go, da-da-da-da-da, you could get a job on this show.
Yes.
So I started working for that, and the next year I came out with my 3rd book called Backyard Rough and Easy.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what, if you will do us first before Good Morning America, we'll give you 2 segments. And so here I am on the Today Show with Tom Brokaw, and I'm showing them how to take a wagon. You remember those red flyer wagons?
Oh, yes.
If you have a metal one of those, you can put about 4 inches of dirt in it.
Okay.
Put heavy-duty foil over the top of it.
Uh-huh.
Put your chocolate briquettes on there.
Okay.
And you're ready to barbecue.
Wow.
So I had Tom with a flat-nosed shovel, they're kind of big at that front end.
Right.
And that was covered with foil, and I had hamburgers, so he's barbecuing his hamburgers on the wagon.
That's
and
amazing.
I pull up a pitchfork with hot dogs on it, and I'm barbecuing the hot dogs on one side, and he said to me, because a wagon is the height of a bench.
Yeah.
He turned to me, he says, Diane, he says, wonder if your friends are drunk and they come over and sit on the bench. And I said, don't worry about that, Tom, you'll just have rump roast. And so I got a same kind of, reaction out of Gene Shalit and Jane Pauley, and after it was over, they all came up and they said, you outdid us all, because they tried to outdo each other. And by then I knew a lot of them. So I thought, today's the day. I have to ask for a job,
Yes.
And I taught you in class, if you don't knock, if you don't knock on the door and ask,
that's right,
you don't get on.
That's right.
Anyway, I asked Tom if I could meet him in his office, and I pitched that I'd be a regular on the show.
Wow.
And he said, get me a proposal. A week later, I was a regular for the next 8 years.
Amazing. Amazing.
So
that's incredible. What a story.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
And then I would go to New York about every other week and do a segment for them. And then after 8 years, I got a call. This guy he actually did Good Morning America. His name was Woody Frazier.
Oh, okay.
And so I had been on Mike Douglas for him before the Today Show.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, where's that girl out in Utah? Let's get her. And so I went to Estes Park, and I kind of pitched, they were doing a regular ABC. It was where The View is now on ABC.
Got it.
It was called The Home Show. Anyway, so I went there and did that show, and kind of, whenever I go and I taught you this, you're kind of pitching the next piece, the next segment that you could do.
Yes.
They call me back. And one day I'm sitting in the Roosevelt Hotel, and I'm reading my script. This is in Los Angeles, right in Hollywood.
Okay.
And it says, and Diane will be a regular on the show. I didn't even know.
Whoa.
They never asked me, but I go, yes. So at that point I was doing the Today Show, and but it was much closer to go to LA.
Yes.
So after 8 years, I stopped going to New York and went to LA and did their show.
Got it.
And I did that one for, it became a cable show after it was on network.
Gotcha.
And I did that up until probably 2 or 3 years ago. So
wow.
About 20 years.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So,
Fantastic.
and then what you do is you do the ideas,
Yeah.
and then you put them into a book. And so I ended up writing
Got it.
19 books altogether.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh.
I've actually been on the 45 years I've been doing media. So.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing.
And now I made it on your show.
And now you're at the pinnacle of your career,
That's
Diane.
right.
Today you have reached the pinnacle of your career.
I'm there. The nice part is I'm home. I didn't have to fly somewhere.
Right. Okay, before we part ways, in case you have a dog or know someone else who does have a dog, I wanted to take a quick second to show you the snap leash. The snap leash can literally do so many things, and I'm going to share with you one of the many cool things that it can do. As you can see, the snap leash is designed with 2 swivel hooks, one on each end. This end has a cushion stitched into it to make it comfortable when walking your dog. Now, all you have to do is take this swivel hook, put it into this very first grommet, and now you've got your handle. Okay, so now let's imagine you're at the park and you want to secure your pet quickly, safely, and easily to a park bench, a tree, or a pole because you just want to sit down and relax. Well, all you need to do is take this swivel hook, remove it from the very first grommet, wrap this leash around any size tree or pole or park bench, and put it into the appropriate grommet, and now you have secured your pet quickly, safely, and easily. And when it's time to head home, another great feature about the snap leash is you can simply wrap it around your waist for hands-free walking. Lastly, if you ever accidentally forget your waist bags at home, these grommets make a great place to fasten the waist bags so you never leave home without them. And if you want to see all of the other cool things that the snap leash can do, then please just click on the link below and find out why so many others are falling in love with the snap leash.